welcome to the weekend preview on the Cheltenham Countdown YouTube channel for the last meeting at Cheltenham this Saturday before the big festival starts in March. It is the Cheltenham Trials Day preview, where I will have a look at every race at Cheltenham this Saturday. Each race will be previewed on the show today, with some selections included in some races as well. So stay tuned on the show. There's going to be some key pointers on Saturday leading up to the Cheltenham Festival. Like the video, share if you want, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. One at Cheltenham on Saturdays at 12:40, and it is the 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs novices handicap chase. I do have a selection here, which I will come on to in a bit. But at the moment, the market leader is Jaguar, 2-1 for owner JP McManus. 3 chase starts this season for Jaguar, winning 2 of them. He finished third at Uttoxeter on his latest run, behind Jinko Blue at 9.5 lengths adrift of him that day. He then went on and won a Windsor Jinko Blue last weekend in a Grade 2. Second at Uttoxeter in December that day, in front of Jaguar, was #Boom. And then he followed up by winning at Ayr next time out. So the form is there in the book at the moment for Jaguar. His form is quite strong recently, and off 1-3-2, I think he'll have a bit more improvement to come. Second favourite for this race on Saturday at the moment is Resplendent Grey for Ollie Murphy, who's also got good substance of form to his name, and has been tried over longer trips this season. He finished second in November at Cheltenham behind Highland, with Springwell Bay in third. And Springwell Bay has won since here at Cheltenham earlier this month. Masaccio is also in there for Alan King, who came a long way behind the Jukebox Man and Highland at Kempton in the Koto Star. He'll be carrying top weight on Saturday with Resplendent Grey, so it may be a tough ask for them both, dropping back down in trip. Billy, the Real Big Red, another contender on Saturday, has been running in lower grades and class throughout his career, so he'll need a fair bit more of improvement, which is not out of the question really, but he just will have to run well, much better than he has done on Saturday. He's another, like Jaguar, for the Grenell and Guerrero train partnership. On the basis of who could improve the most, I think, on Saturday, I will be siding with the market leader Jaguar, and I have backed him at 2-1 in a double with another horse later on the card on Saturday. The second race at Cheltenham is the Grade 2 JCB Triumph Trial Juvenile Hurdle. Favourite East India Doc is odds on at the moment for Saturday. He looked very impressive winning at Cheltenham last time out, but at 4-6, he's just a bit slightly short, in my opinion. I'll come back on to him later on. Quantock Hills and Terry Firma both finishing a dead heat at Cheltenham for first year in December. They look pretty decent each way price at the moment. Quantock Hills is currently a 12-1 price. Terry Firma is at 14-1. Sauvignon for Paul Nicholls and Stencil we haven't seen run outside of France yet, so I wouldn't be ready to back either of them at the moment. I think at the prices, Terry Firma at 14-1, 2 points higher than Quantock Hills at 12s. If Terry Firma runs a bit more prominently and a bit more up with the pace, I think he generally has a better each way chance. He came right off the pace, 4 lengths down, came from 4 lengths down up the running against Quantock Hills last time. I did catch him towards the end, just dead heating the finish. So I think he'll have a better chance of running a bit more prominently for Sean Bowen. And I may back him each way, like I said earlier, as I just think East India Doc is slightly too short at the moment. He'll be a good, if he does win this on Saturday, he'll be a great shout for the Triumph Hurdle on the Friday of the festival. So if you are considering backing East India Doc for the race on Saturday, I'd currently also back him for the Triumph Hurdle. I think he's around about 6-1, 7-1 at the moment. 150, we have a Grade 3 handicap chase over 2.5 miles. Iroko, who fell last time, heads the weights and the market, along with Ginny's Destiny, who disappointed in the Peterborough chase at Huntington last time. Both at 7-2 plus and 4-1 respectively. They both head the markets and the weights as well, carrying 12 stone each. Imperial Saint at 7-1 would much prefer flatter tracks, I think. Il Ridotto at 8-1, even with Freddie Gingell on board. I don't think, even claiming the £3, I can't see him winning this one. Others to mention in the race are Soul Icon, Gemirond, and Some Scope, who won the Roland Merrick at Wetherby. Ginny's Destiny, though, I think I'm going to give him a last chance. He's the last chance given him on Saturday, especially with the ground in his favour and on the new course, I think, which suits him better than the old course. So he has to bounce back after his disappointing performance last time and pulling up in the Paddy Power in November. So At 4-1, I'll give him one opportunity to redeem himself. That's Ginny's Destiny on Saturday. Next race is the Grade 2 Cotswold Chase, and L'Empresse is the second part of my double, along with Jaguar in the opening race on Saturday. I backed L'Empresse at 6-5 as the second part of the double, as I just mentioned. He's coming into this race after a good third at Kempton in the King George on Boxing Day. That was his first run of the season. Didn't think it was too bad of a run from him. He's running left-handed on Saturday. I think that's better for him rather than going right-handed on flatter tracks. Gentleman's Game is also in there. Second favourite at 11-4 for Mouse Morris. He's a consistent sort, although he did pull up in the Gold Cup here back in March. Others to note are Stage Star, Delta Work, and Tommy Bow in there, along with Chantry House, JP McManus. They're the other 4 runners in the field. There's only 6 on Saturday. I think the top 2 in the market will pull a long way clear of the rest. They're just classier individuals at Cheltenham, I believe. So, but the selection is going to be L'Empresse as the second part of my double. At 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, I hope you'll all be watching and tuned in to the television on ITV Racing, Racing TV, wherever you guys be watching it on, to watch the superstar that is Constitution Hill making his long-awaited return to Cheltenham. It's been a long time coming since we last saw him at the track, and I think with his presence there on Saturday, it's going to create a massive crowd there and a great buzz for people to watch him before he returns to the Champion Hurdle on day 1 of the festival. He's 1-10 shot against 4 of the runners in the field. It's not a betting proposition, but I'm just so glad we can see him back before the festival at Cheltenham especially. He had a great comeback run at Kempton in the Christmas Hurdle against Lossiemouth. That's going to put him in good stead for this race on Saturday. He should just absolutely pulverise the field. I just cannot wait to see him back at Cheltenham. Like I said, I'm really, really excited to see Michael Buckley's horse on the TV on Saturday. And then on day 1 of the festival, I'll be able to see him in the flesh at the racecourse. So I can't wait. Let's hope and pray he wins on Saturday in a canter, and we can see him all in all his glory on day 1 of the festival. The penultimate race on trials there is the Cleve Hurdle. And it's a bit of a mess of a race, if I say so myself. I think the only good thing is with the 8 runners, it's good for each way purposes. Obviously, you'll have 3 places on the day if 8 runners are still there come the race. The front 2 in the market are solid types, Crambo at 15-8 and Strong Leader, who is my selection, by the way. Strong Leader will be my selection for the Cleve Hurdle. Other than them 2, I think it's, like I said, a bit of a mess of a race. You've got Gower Road in there. I don't think he's going to be winning this on Saturday. Montmiral is probably going to be too weak and potentially looking for a Pertemps race at the festival. Others in there are Garlow, Botox Hard, so I don't think either of them are going to be close to winning as well. So I think the front 2 in the market, Crambo and Strong Leader, are the worthy types. It's just in behind is a mess of a race. So if you pick out an each way horse in there and he comes in the top 3, then fair play to you guys, because I couldn't really find value in this race. So I'm going to side with Strong Leader. He finished 3rd in this race last season, I should say, behind Noble Yates and Paisley Park. He then went on and won the long distance hurdle at Aintree at the Grand National meeting, Bolton up there. Also won at Newbury this year in the long distance hurdle this season, before fading away at Ascot last time out. But I do think he'll bounce back. That run was too bad to be true in my opinion, so I think he'll bounce back and win on Saturday. He's at 5-2, 11-4, second favourite. I think he'll be ridden well by Sean Bowen again, who I hope will have a winner earlier in the card as well. So hopefully Strong Leader can bounce back from his poor run at Ascot last time out and win us the Cleve Hurdle on Saturday. Last race on trials day is at 4:10 Saturday afternoon, and it is the classic novices hurdle, a Grade 2 for novice hurdlers. Potter's Charm, I think, is the class act in this race. Clearly is, because he's odds on at the moment. I hope he goes and wins on Saturday, although I won't be backing him at all for the race, because I do have him at a 16-1 slip for the Turners Novices Hurdle on the second day of the festival. So I hope he backs up his wins earlier in the season here again on Saturday at Cheltenham. He's currently the market leader and at a current price of 7-1, maybe just under 6-1 for the Turners at the moment. If he goes and wins this on Saturday, it'll be a very, very close outright favourite with the New Lion for the race. Others in the race on Saturday are Bill Joyce, who's got a decent level of form to his name, Quebecois and 6 Mile Bridge. I don't think they'll be as good or as classy as Potter's Charm for the race on the weekend. I just feel he's a very good horse. He won a Grade 1 over 2 miles on Boxing Day at Aintree. Previously to that, he's won 2 races at Cheltenham this year, both at over 2.5 miles. and 2 miles respectively. So he's a very good, consistent horse. I hope he goes and wins on Saturday and enhances his credentials for the festival in March. Now, I couldn't leave today's episode without giving you my strongest bet and my strongest fancy for the Saturday race card at Cheltenham. My strongest bet is probably going to be my nap, which is a strong leader in the Cleve Hurdle. I think he's a much better horse at this point this season, although he did have a bad run last time. I think you can draw a line through the Ascot run last month. He's a much better horse this season than he was last campaign. Obviously signing off with the win at Aintree in a Grade 1 and beginning his campaign this season winning at Newbury was a good starting point for him. I think he'll be reversing the form with Crambo on Saturday, and I'll have him winning with Sean Bowen in the saddle all day long. So he'll be my strongest bet of the weekend at Cheltenham, and hopefully can continue his and enhance his credentials for the Stayers Hurdle against Teupo on the Thursday of the festival. Now, next week's episode, I will be available for a full episode and a full preview ahead of the Dublin Racing Festival. I will be giving you all every race previewing day 1 and day 2 at Leopardstown next week. Probably on either the Wednesday night or the Thursday night, whether entries and decks will be out by then. Nonetheless, I will have every race covered for you for the DRF next weekend. I am looking forward to it. I love the Dublin Race Festival. Hopefully, I will be going there at least a few times in my life, I hope. Nonetheless, Leopardstown is the destination for the previews next week. So hopefully you'll join me by then. If you've liked this episode and liked my selections, please leave a like. Please leave a comment on who you'll be siding with on the weekend. Share the video if you wish, and subscribe to the channel. It does help me out massively, guys, and I have been benefiting from a few more subscribers this week. So thank you so much. And that's it. I'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching.